Views expressed by Casters Guild members are only the opinions of that member, and that could change from day to day. Guild members may use mature language, but that in no way means they are mature. Listener discretion is advised.
The WGA finally catches a break, Dropout sheds some weight, and Epic Games makes some questionable layoff decisions. That's the spell we're casting tonight on Casters Guild. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Casters Guild. I'm your Guildmaster Rick Perry, and I'm about 2 breath mints short of a 10.
And I am your Guildmaster Baron Roll Fizzlebeef Kane.
Baron, I got some good news and some bad news.
I think I know what it is.
Good news is the writer's strike is over.
Yay!
Bad news is the actor strike is still going strong.
Aw. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure our listeners know that, we both are keeping up on this because, that's our bread and butter. Well, our bread. Well, our JPEGs of bread and butter,
right?
Because we don't really get paid, but that's pretty much the meat and potatoes of our podcast. Is man, am I hungry?
It sounds like it.
Good Lord, meat, potatoes, and buttered bread sound real good right now. Anyways. So that's pretty much the majority of the stuff we talk about. So of course we want this stuff to be over, but also we want them to get the fair deal. So again, I'd rather talk about nothing until they get a fair deal than, beg them to come back.
At this point, it's looking like we won't be talking about movies or television shows until next season.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
For anyone who doesn't know, we usually end our seasons in October, so we're in the last few episodes of this season, so listen while you can.
Yeah, because we're just going to shut everything down. Be back next season. Now, there's someone out there that has hearing difficulties and didn't just hear me whisper that, so sorry.
Sorry, one person.
Yeah. But yeah, so, I mean, definitely wishing the actors well. Funny thing, the person I've been watching since the writer's strike happened, Adam Conover, keeping up on that and everything. And it was just like, yeah, you guys did it. But he's also a member of the Actors Guild, so he's still on strike.
And from what I understand, a lot of the writers, even the ones that aren't members of SAG-AFTRA, are still on the picket lines supporting the actors.
Yeah, and they say because the actors have been there since the beginning supporting them, but I mean, I don't remember seeing a lot of actors on the picket lines or anything like that. And that could just be just a trick of the media, but...
Well, we all know Jay Leno brought donuts.
Oh, Jay Leno, you golden man, bringing 6 donuts and a half-eaten bagel. Ah, you're so good.
All right, well, on to the stuff we can talk about while we can, because very soon the video game industry might be full of struck companies too. But I saw a trailer a couple weeks ago, one I thought you might take to immediately.
Probably not.
It's a cozy game, like a Stardew Valley style game called Tales of the Shire.
Yeah?
Did you happen to catch that trailer?
It's funny, is I heard it was coming out, but I have yet to see a trailer.
Gotcha.
I think maybe I saw a teaser.
Yeah,
okay,
it's more of a teaser
I did
than a trailer. I just thought you'd be excited that that's even a thing that's coming out.
Oh yeah. I am excited to see what is going to come out. Obviously, it could take a while. When did that Fable trailer hit? And how long have we been hearing about Fable? I think even we got a Fable teaser long before this recent trailer. So we could be waiting a while if all we got is a teaser for this right now.
Yeah, the AAA game studios, I don't even know if this is a AAA game studio. Weta Workshop, I'm not sure what else they are responsible for. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing their name correctly.
Weta, yeah.
But that's one thing I'll give. Another reason I'm a Nintendo fanboy is when they announce something, it usually is coming out that year or next year. And other times we'll see teasers or announcements and they'll be like, look forward to this in about 8 years.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how long was I waiting for Cyberpunk 2077?
Right.
Good Lord. I think it was actually 2020. Oh, no, it was before 2020. Because it came out in 2021?
Something like that.
Or maybe it did come out in 2020, because I know that's part of the reason why it got rushed, because they wanted it to come out in 2020.
Right.
But yeah, I've been waiting, I think at least 2 or 3 years before that.
Right.
Because we got that
reveal trailer with Keanu Reeves, the Wake Up Samurai.
I think even before that, because they showed that opening video with the woman going cyber psycho with the mantis blades and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody knows this, is in the game. She is in the game. If you know who it is, if you know where you see her again, let me know.
Let's see. Yeah, that came out December 10th of 2020. It was originally scheduled to be released April of that year, but it got postponed until December of that year.
And I guarantee you they put it out into December because it was the last possible month they had to get it out in 2020. In case anybody doesn't know why they were pushing for 2020 so hard, is because Cyberpunk 2020 was essentially the originator of this game. So they wanted it to come out in 2020 to be able to capitalize on that, or hit the nostalgia button on a bunch of gamers. Whatever.
Speaking of which, that's an entirely different game now. With the new update, oh my god,
I know,
it's amazing.
Because I have so much stuff going on in my life right now, I have not had a chance to play it. Hell, I actually haven't even had a chance to purchase it yet, but I'm going to enjoy it. I know I
haven't purchased the expansion, the additional content. I'm just talking about the update they did on the same day that the expansion was released.
Yeah, I don't want to jump into it until I have Phantom Liberty.
That's fair. You've also run through that game a whole lot more than I have. I have plenty to do in that game, just the base game. You have run that thing to death. Yeah. And I still have probably not even uncovered half of it, so. Right. Yeah, you'll probably have a tough time being like, okay, what's new and what's old that I just hadn't discovered.
Right, exactly. Yep, that's what I always love when they do that with games that I really, really dig into, and then they're like, hey, here's some new stuff, and I'm like, hey, this is new, and someone's like, no, that's always been there. Okay. But I imagine, again, I haven't really looked into it. Again, I kind of wanted to be surprised. But I'm imagining that a lot of the stuff they just added are a lot of the stuff that they had embedded in the game anyways, that they just didn't release yet.
Or that they wanted to have in the game from jump and just didn't have the time to embed or put it in there. And now they're like, yeah, we got time for this now.
Yep. Yeah, because I think embedded in the code, I believe that they actually have the Atlantis, which is a club that is popular. The Atlantis actually was the premier club in Night City before the Afterlife was.
Gotcha.
I don't know what happened between 2020 and 2077 to make the Afterlife the big deal, but who knows? Maybe in the 2077 lore, the Atlantis is still a big deal for like your upper level runners. I'm getting Shadowrun mixed in with Cyberpunk. Anyways, for your upper level guys, and then maybe the Afterlife is just for the the trash, the lower level, street level guys who are legends, but no one really ever hears about. But like you hear about you heard about like Johnny Silverhand because he was a big rock star and everything like that, but also because he straight up nuked Arasaka. But that's why you also heard about Rogue. That's why you also heard about Spider Murphy. That's why you heard about all those people, because of that job. So
Yeah.
maybe again they were just your low level trash guys.
Maybe Atlantis is celebrating the operatives who are still operating, and the afterlife just celebrates those who've died.
Yeah, I think, or it celebrates the ones who's died and provides a like haven for like those guys who are just getting started.
Yeah,
I could see that,
because that's a prerequisite of having a drink named after you at the afterlife, right? You have to have died.
You have to die. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And let me tell you too, if anybody ever gets their hands on a Cyberpunk 2020 book, just dig through. They have descriptions of all the bars in Night City. The afterlife is not as cool in the books as it is in the game.
Right.
And if I had money, there's a bar in Columbus that I would buy right now and turn into the afterlife because it could be.
Oh, they like have spots for the morgue or whatever?
Even up to going down the steps to get into it because it's essentially kind of underground.
Right.
But it's not really underground. It looks neat. I believe too at the time when it was in full swing, when you walked in, there were like caskets on the side or like the casket fronts.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty darn close.
Yeah.
But since you kind of brought it up a little bit, I do want to say Shadowrun has a book bundle on Humble Bundle right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not Cyberpunk, but it's, close enough.
And good. It's good too. So we're not like when we say it's not Cyberpunk. It's not. It's something completely different. But at the same time, it's also the same thing.
It's Shadowrun. It's Cyberpunk with fantasy thrown in.
Yes.
And it's a 42 item bundle. It's a 42 item book bundle. So if you wanted to play Shadowrun or looking to round out your collection, it's a 42 item bundle if you pay a minimum of $18. So $20 to charity, you get 42 Shadowrun books.
So yeah, you'll and I'm about to reveal the old man in me. You're probably going to have to help me out, Guildmaster Rick. Because every time I try to go to Humble Bundle and get books off of it, it comes to me in file formats that I can't open. So, yeah, I am definitely in need of trying to get a better way of using these things.
Gotcha. I usually end up just opening them. Do you not get PDFs? That's weird.
No. PDFs would have been easy.
Yeah, if anything, I often use that like a PDF converter, which you can usually find pretty easy. Keep an eye on the Discord, and I will look into that.
Okay. Now, obviously, that was just a bit that we set up to help anybody that is having problems with it as well.
Yeah.
Commit to the bit. Commit to the bit.
Oh, yeah. I'm committed 100%. All right, as long as we're crossing the streams of the video game world and the tabletop world, Final Fantasy XIV is now getting its own TTRPG.
Excited I am about that.
I have friends who are really into Final Fantasy XIV. I never really played it. I tried. I started it out. And I even got it on PC and PlayStation 4. So me and my wife could kind of dig into it together for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I started, and I realized that it has all the trappings of every other MMORPGs I ever played that is going to get me sucked in and addicted, but also at the same time make it feel like a job that I hate having to do every day. So I chose to put it down and not play it. But I will say the lore that surrounds it is very cool. A lot of the classes and the races are really cool. So doing it as a TTRPG might be something I actually want to look into.
Okay. Now, again, the old man in me would have really much preferred them to, I don't know, start out with maybe a TTRPG centered around the first one or one of those ones. I feel like I could have had a lot of fun because that just seems like a really basic TTRPG that they could have done. You have everybody was pretty much humans. I guess there were dwarves too and elves, but you could just do that. I don't know.
Well, I don't mean to be that guy, but you could always get this and just run a human-only campaign. Restrict some of the basic classes that you can choose, and just run it in that lore set. Could be like, all right, go get Garland. He's doing some evil stuff.
Could be.
You're the chosen warriors of light.
But I mean, I could also do that with D&D.
Yeah, but here you actually have stats for chocobos and imps and stuff. Already sat it out for you.
I mean,
yeah, I get it.
Again, if we're talking about adjusting games, it's like, yeah, I could easily find a chocobo in D&D stats for. But yeah.
But it looks like they're starting with a starter set, because why wouldn't you? It's literally called Final Fantasy XIV TTRPG. Could have come up with a more creative name than that, but I'll take it. It is what it says on the tin. The starter set's going to cost about $60, and it comes with a quote-unquote beginner-friendly player book. It has an additional book for game masters offering tips and advice, as well as 3 pre-made scenarios. The starter set also looks to come with dice, some maps, some cardboard minis, and everything else as far as our TTRPG goes is all just marked as coming soon on Square Enix's website, so we don't know when anything other than the starter set is going to come out, which is May of 2024. And like most other TTRPGs, it says it's designed for parties of 5 players, but can work with as few as 3.
Okay.
But the cool thing about it, if you've ever played Final Fantasy XIV, you know that it kind of incorporates things from all of the other Final Fantasies as Easter eggs. It's an MMORPG that's built for Final Fantasy fans. It has its own lore and its own thing, just like every Final Fantasy game. But if you are a Final Fantasy fan and you want to adapt a TTRPG to your favorite Final Fantasy game, I think this could probably be the easiest way to do it. Being someone who is kind of looking for something to be the new big thing to replace D&D, because I'm not happy with Wizards as a company right now, it's just another option I can look at.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
So we have some new announcements out of Dropout.
Yes.
Starting with what I think is the biggest one, they're dropping the College Humor name. And they're just going to be Dropout as a company from here on out.
What a funny trailer that was, too. Announcement video they did. That was great.
Yeah.
It's funny how they can even turn a announcement video into something funny.
Yeah, they're talented people over there.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm pretty excited about that. And apparently the old College Humor guys, gave their full support. And because I think College Humor is shuttered, isn't it? It's done?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think it was
Dropout was the only thing keeping them alive.
Yeah, I think it was kind of chugging along, and then everything got put into Dropout, and then it was just this company still exists, but it's all about Dropout now.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. Because I mean, even doing a search online for College Humor, it's all Dropout.
Yeah.
So yeah. And it looks like most of their brands were... Yeah, College Humor was retired. That's what it was. And I think, honestly, it was because Dropout did become College Humor did become Dropout, but they kept the brand to kind of capitalize on the popularity of that brand. So they finally just retired that name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was about time, really.
Oh, yeah. Yep, and Dropout has become its own force to be reckoned with, so... Oh my god! I just looked up a little... I looked up, like I said, I googled it, right? And there is a chubby little Sam Reich in here. A little picture from when they were... Which, you and I both, I'm not meaning this chubby as a insult or anything.
Right.
He's a cute little guy. But no, I've never seen Sam Reich's anything except his current incarnation. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, it's funny. Man, there's a lot of people that either cycled through College Humor or came from College Humor. It's, my God.
Yeah, people kind of forget how long that website and company had been around and everything that it did do.
Yeah. And then just everything that it's become. I mean, well, we were talking about Adam Conover earlier.
Yeah.
It's pretty much where I'm sure he did other stuff, but
yeah, a lot of a lot of the really good comedy websites and comedy companies, they kind of, the route seems to be you go to some sort of art or acting school, you join some sort of improv group, and then you end up in like College Humor or Cracked or something like that.
Right.
But a lot of them seem to have been either a part of Upright Citizens Brigade or...
Oh, yeah, that's a huge one.
Yeah.
A lot of people come out of that.
Yeah. Or, what's the one that everybody abbreviates? UTCB or something like that? No, that is Upright. Never mind. I don't know. There's another one that I hear a lot, but it's just... I'm blanking on it right now. But they announced the new season of Dimension 20.
More specifically...
You go ahead.
More specifically, they are doing the Eggford Academy stuff. For some reason, I'm trying to say it, but I keep
Fantasy
saying
High.
Like magical. That's it, Fantasy High. God damn it. So this is the problem when you play like Monster or like about Monster High or
Monster
wait,
Prom.
hold on. Monster Prom. I was like, yeah. So again, all of these things are getting mixed into my head, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever that is.
The Fantasy High School one.
Yeah, I'm gonna get online and I'm gonna play Fantasy High so I can have some crazy hijinks. And that's Monster Prom. Oh, whatever. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
Is there monsters or fantasy creatures in high school? I'm on board.
Yeah, pretty much.
What are you playing? Monster Hearts? No.
I have that too. I've been wanting to play that.
Yeah.
I've heard some good things. Actually, my boss gave it to me.
Yeah.
This is hilarious.
I'm actually going to have to... That's the one that like kicked off the whole Dimension 20 thing, right? Was Fantasy High? No. It was the Kingdom of Candy, the first one.
No, the thing that really kicked it off was Fantasy High.
Okay. I'm going to have to go back and watch that. I'm going to have to go back and watch that one because I'd never watched the first one. I've seen a lot of clips that look hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you definitely got to check that out.
And while I do, I'll be looking cool because I'll have my t-shirts from tvillain.com.
T-Villain is a t-shirt site where you'll find a killer limited edition shirt being sold for $13 only while supplies last. Every Monday, the site features a new design by a new artist. We would tell you what's featured right now, but by the time you hear this, it's already changed.
They choose the most ingenious designs that reflect everything evil and villainy, as well as works pertaining to anything artistic, pulp style, lowbrow, pop culture, TV, movies, music, video games, comics, etc. All things cool and evil, basically. To check them out and help out Casters Guild, click our link in the description.
It's a horrible intro.
Look, we've been doing it for 4 years, okay? They're not all going to be winners.
God.
T-Villain still loves me.
Yeah, that's true.
So, anyone who's played video games for the past, 5-10 years will tell you that
what are video games?
All the kids love the Fortnites. I never really got into it, but from what I understand, Fortnite was the game. And Epic Games just came out and revealed that it is bleeding money. And has been for a very long time. It is not the profitable game that they want everyone to believe it to be. And they just laid off 900 people because they claim the game is unsustainable. I just got the face from Baron that says like 1,000 words.
So I would like to point out that the CEO of Epic, their net worth is $7.4 billion. Right. Maybe if they didn't pay their fucking CEO so much, maybe they could have afforded to keep those 900 people.
Right.
Pieces of shit.
Once again, I'll keep laying on the love for Nintendo real thick, because when Nintendo realized that their newer games, newer consoles were bleeding money and that it was unsustainable, what did the CEO do? He took a 50% pay decrease and paid all his people and didn't lose a single employee.
I would also like to point out that CEO of Epic System, Judy Faulkner, makes $100 million a year.
A year.
A year. And I guess Forbes reports that from 2022 to 2023, see, that doesn't make sense. 100 million rise, 100 million. Oh, the net worth, which is funny. Her net worth from 2022 to 2023 rose $100 million. Yep. Oh, but lay off 900 fucking people though. That's great. Maybe if you dropped one of your fucking billions of dollars, you could afford to pay these people for a few years. Fucking ass clown.
Yeah, but then they'd have to
then they'd lose the rich person competition. Oh no.
Right, exactly. You can't lose the rich person competition. That's the only thing that matters in this world.
Gross. Fucking gross.
Look, we understand we're all upset about the rich people. It's
gross.
I honestly do wish that isn't what this podcast would have become, but it becomes impossible to ignore at a certain point. You know what I mean?
What?
The fucked up shit that rich people do on a daily basis.
Oh, right. Well, I mean, the fucked up shit that rich people do affects us on a daily basis.
Yeah, like I said, it becomes impossible to ignore.
It affects gaming. It affects movies. It is fucking literally affecting movies right fucking now.
Yeah.
Right fucking now. And it affects us as people. As people. Trying to live a life. The game that rich people play fucks us.
Right. No, I agree. I do hope that the fact that they did come to the table and decide to actually pay the writers what they were owed means that it won't take too much longer before they do the same for actors.
Yeah, but I guarantee you too, though, that whole thing, that was just another rich person game.
Right.
I think they always intended to come back to the table. But now that they are coming back to the table, they're going to justify, since we went so long without this, and now we have to do this, we have to raise the prices on these things. Anybody notice that your fucking streaming services are being raised here?
Yeah, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. And a bunch of them, it was just Netflix, but now pretty much all of them are instating some sort of policy to crack down on password sharing.
Yeah. The only thing I have to say is, do what you want, because a pirate is free.
Mm.
We are a pirate.
Yo har. Deedly dee.
So yeah, if you want to watch that show online, I'm sure it's on a streaming service somewhere. That show that I just sang that song from, which is the entire reason why I sang that song. I wasn't trying to convince anybody to go online and pirate their favorite show or movie and watch it for free. Of course not. Stick it to these streaming services. I wasn't insinuating that.
You know what would be an interesting podcast topic?
Is this another intro to T-Villain?
No.
Okay.
No. I flopped it, and I'm just going to leave it there. Look, we're not going to take a take.
Wow, that mental image. But go ahead.
We should do an educational podcast about how people who do pirate, movies and TV and things like that, how it is that they do that. Now, we would only do this for educational purposes. You know, we would never encourage people to actually do that, but we should cover, you know, how that these criminals are doing what they do. Almost, you know, documentary style, you know.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I know a guy who has put in a lot of research into these criminal masterminds.
For educational purposes, yeah.
For educational purposes. We could always have him online on one of the shows so that we can really talk the ins and outs of it.
Yeah.
You know, just so we know what to avoid.
Of course. You don't want to accidentally get roped into a crime as serious as piracy.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you wouldn't download a car.
Okay, I would fucking download a car. And you know what? It's getting to the point that we might be able to do that. We keep pushing out 3D printers the way we are. Who knows? Maybe eventually we'll be able to print out a hard plastic car and be able to... That would be weird. But anyways, I maybe eventually will be able to use metal material to 3D print a car.
Oh, there are metal
great.
3D printers. They're industrial grade and way too expensive for consumer use, but they exist.
Well, fuck you, Chevy.
Exist.
Guess what I'm going to do? I'm downloading a car. Fuck you.
Anytime I hear about a technology, they're like, oh, this technology is way too expensive and like way too big and like nowhere close to ready for consumer use, I just look at my watch and I'm like, just a matter of time.
Yep. And I guarantee you there's a lot of people out there, a lot of companies, a lot of $7.4 billion assholes that are like, how are we supposed to get money out of them if all they're doing is just 3D printing the things that they want? Well, get fucked, I guess. Mm-hmm. Start selling 3D printers like the assholes you are.
Right.
I also think that that's, again, the conspiracy theory person in me. Hold on, let me move this pin with the red yarn here.
Right. Pepe Sylvia.
What I think, one of the things... This could even be one of the reasons why people are trying to crack down on internet control so hard as well. Because of all the shit that you can get off of line that keeps money out of the pockets of $7.4 billion assholes.
Yeah. Yeah, more that they... And you know what? The more that they restrict internet access, monitor internet access, the more they throttle bandwidths, the more control they have over that sort of thing.
Yep. And before anybody wants to come in and defend these companies for what they're doing, I just want to point out, yes, I realize that whatever happened, that game is bleeding, and that's why these people got let go, and these things happen. Again, if all of that fucking money wasn't going to one person, because I guarantee you, not only is that one person getting that money, the people right below them are getting a shit ton of money too.
Mm-hmm.
If all of those people took a little pay cut, just a little pay cut, if she would lose one of her billions of dollars, one of them, they could have kept those guys.
Yep,
easily.
Yeah,
because you know what, I'm going to do some research later. I could just be talking out my ass. Maybe those 900 people that they fired were just high level execs, and you know, maybe that's what's going on. However, I don't think it was. I think it was probably developers. It was probably... Now, hold on here. Oh, you know what? This whole time I've been talking shit about Judith Faulkner. Epic actually is a healthcare software company. But you know what? Fuck her too, because I have worked with Epic too. I have worked with Epic. And, again, $7.4 billion? No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah. I still feel justified in everything I said. But Tim fucking Sweeney, you piece of shit. Guess what your net worth is, you son of a bitch? It is $4.1 billion. $4.1 billion. Hold on. He's a founder and CEO of Epic Games and the creator of Unreal Engine. Okay, you know what? That's a good engine, Mr. Tim Sweeney. I get it. That's great. But at the same time, $4.1 billion? What the fuck, man? You could have very easily, again, taken one of those billions of dollars and given it out. Not even given. Maybe just, I don't know, go a year without a salary. Oh, but what's he supposed to do without a salary? Well, he has $4.1 billion.
$4.1 billion.
God damn. In fact, oh my God. I kind of scrolled down and looked at the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, and I don't know, this could be from a different year, but it's saying Tim Sweeney is $9.65 billion worth. Maybe it's a different Tim Sweeney. Maybe this was posted at a different time. I don't know. I don't even see a date on this.
Look,
no date.
Let's keep this anger train rolling, because Epic is not the only video game company, to go through layoffs this year.
10/2/23. I'm sorry, 10/2/23. This is a recent thing. Whatever this was before, that was saying whatever the $4.1 billion. Wrong. Bloomberg says you're worth $9.65 billion. You son of a bitch.
So let's keep this rolling, because Epic is not the only video game company to go through layoffs this year. BioWare laid off around 50 employees this year, including legends like Mary Kirby and Lucas Christiansen, who were key writers for Dragon Age and the Baldur's Gate series. And they have just decided to take BioWare to court.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so apparently when they laid off their 50 employees earlier this year, over 50 employees. By the way, I'm getting this from TheVerge.com. They didn't give as much in severance as they were originally promised. And so when the employees who were laid off attempted to go negotiate for more to get the original severance that they were promised, the company refused. And so now those employees are taking BioWare to court over lost severance. Which, it's one thing to justify laying off employees because your company isn't making as much money as you thought it was going to make, which is already, like you said, bad enough, because you could just, instead of laying off however many people, you could just give your CEO a pay cut. They wouldn't even feel that shit. But then they would be losing the rich person contest. Whatever. But then you promised these people money when you hired them, that if they ever were to get laid off, they'd get X amount for severance. And now you're not even trying to pay that. What kind of bullshit is you can't afford to fire someone?
Right. Ugh. I'm flabbergasted, really. Yeah. Again, you got, and you know what, and I guarantee it too, I will even throw a little defense in the lap of these CEOs. And I say lap because they are also the lapdogs of their investors, of their shareholders board. If these shareholders who don't ever see any of the employees at this place, or really even know how things work at the business that they are shareholders in, see a dip in money that they should be receiving, then they will climb up the ass of the CEO, and it's his job to make them happy.
Yep.
So
it becomes less about running a company, which is full of people who depend on you, and more about making the numbers look a certain way.
Yes.
It's like, fuck what actually happens. What's it say on the piece of paper that you could get to show your shareholders?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, let's stop talking about assholes, and let's talk about Go ahead.
Just to let you know too, there is a whole letter that they posted from the CEO of Epic Games, and they put it on the Epic Games website. Again, it's a bunch of corporate jargon and shit like that, but if you read between the lines, what an asshole. Anyways.
So let's stop talking about assholes and talk about a good guy. Drew Carey. During the entire strike, he was offering free meals for WGA cardholders at Bob's Big Boy and Swingers Diner in LA. So at any point in time during the entire WGA strike, from beginning to end, if you walked in to Bob's Big Boy or Swingers Diner and showed your WGA card, you could get a meal for free. And that was on Drew Carey. Drew Carey was paying for all of that.
See, that's how you're supposed to use money.
What a fucking guy.
Yeah. That's how the fuck you're supposed to use money.
And he's not, there's no way Drew Carey's a billionaire. I haven't looked up his net worth or anything, but there's no way he's a fucking billionaire.
No, absolutely not.
But he's still got the money to fucking feed people.
Yeah. 180 million. Which is, to me and you, that's a shit ton of money.
Right.
He's losing He's losing the rich person contest, though.
Yes. Yeah, big time.
He is not winning it, for sure.
Not even in the running.
No, they haven't been. No. I bet people like Tim Sweeney and what's her name, who I've already forgotten, who I did a whole tirade on and has nothing to do with Epic Games. I'm betting that, he doesn't even blip on their radar for them. And you know what? They don't blip on the radar for the richest of people.
Someone like Tim Sweeney could lose Drew Carey's entire net worth and not even realize it unless one of his accountants told him so.
Yep. Yep. His net worth of $180 million is probably their fucking salary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gross. But yeah, here he is using his money, and it's funny too, because if you really, really break it down, how much money do you think it cost him to do that?
Well, it's, from what I understand, it's not like he owns these restaurants, so like he's not getting the meals at cost. He's paying retail for the meals. So
exactly.
It could have been cheap. I mean, like, to him, it probably wasn't a lot, but it definitely couldn't have been cheap.
No, like let's just say a meal is $8. Okay.
Hey, we're talking Bob's Big Boy and Swingers Diner in LA. These meals are like $20.
Okay, let's just say $20. How many people do you think came in and by people I mean how many meals do you think that they gave out?
Oh man, I got no frame of reference.
1,000?
Easy.
Let's just say 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even really a drop in the pan for someone who has $1 million.
Right.
So, I mean, yes, while he could probably be spending more, it's definitely not a box of 6 donuts.
Look,
I'm ragging on. I'm sorry, I'm ragging on the man. You know he brought more than 6 donuts. Yeah, that picture was horrible.
It definitely. If the only context you had was that picture,
right.
It'd be like, what the fuck?
Come on, Jay Leno. But yeah, man, it's.
But point is, there was a bunch of people on that picket line who they didn't have the money in savings to be on that picket line.
Okay, first off, writers don't get paid a lot of money, for one. Two, the least of those writers are living paycheck to paycheck, probably living in a shitty area. That's just how it is. I don't know.
But at least they had a meal.
Yeah.
Thanks to good guy Drew Carey. None of them went hungry, or at least didn't have to.
Yep.
What a guy. And honestly, that's just one story surrounding... Like, I haven't done a whole lot of research into everybody who helped out during the writer's strike. That's just one story.
Yeah, there's tons of stories. There are tons of stories.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not even taking into account normal people like you and I donating to these charities that they put up for the writers and for the actors who don't have the millions of dollars that, the higher level guys do.
Right.
It's every little bit counts. And if you've donated to it, great. It's as far as I'm concerned, you donating $20 to one of those charities is just as good as
good guy Drew Carey.
I almost called him Jim Carey. Drew Carey. I'm not doing great with names today, guys. I'm not doing great in names. I'm sorry. We'll come back and rip on Faulkner later. Anyways, is just as good as nice guy Drew Carey, paying for these meals. Because again, he's a millionaire, and he's probably paying. Let's even go crazy and say he spent $100,000 on meals.
Right.
$100,000. It's still a drop in the bucket to him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I shouldn't say a drop in the bucket. You're getting higher.
He'd probably notice that one.
Right. But it's still even like let's just say someone that's making $30,000 if they donated $1,000 to something. That's a chunk.
Yeah,
that's a chunk, and that there are people out there who do it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, don't think that we are downplaying anything that anybody has done out of kindness and charity throughout this entire thing. there's a lot of stuff happening. The writer's strike, the actor's strike, the fires in Maui. There are disasters, actual disasters happening that are beyond anybody's control. And which, again, if you haven't done anything to help the Maui fire funds or anything like that, please hop in, help. The main thing I don't want is for these fires to give these, try not to point fingers here, the rich people in Maui a handhold to take land away from the people who have lived there for generations.
Right.
So do your research on these charities. Make sure that the money is going to the right people. And
yeah, the other thing is, initially, when the disaster struck, a lot of the locals were saying, don't come here. You know what I mean? Like, now is not the time. Don't come here. That general attitude has shifted, and the locals are saying, yes, come back, to go ahead and take your vacation in Hawaii. If you want to help Hawaii, they can use your money if you're spending those tourist dollars. I mean, if you were looking at a vacation in Hawaii, I can't afford that kind of shit. But if you were looking at a vacation in Hawaii, now's the time. Just do some research to make sure that when you spend it, like, don't go get an all-inclusive resort and spend all your money just at the resort. Like give the locals some money.
I do also have a better suggestion than that, because there are still a lot of locals that don't want you there. That money that you were going to spend on a Hawaii vacation, donate it.
Yeah, there's that too.
Because guess what? Hawaii is a state in the United States. It shouldn't be, but it is. And there are a lot of people who live there natively whose lives are being ruined because of tourists and the rich people who live there buying up a lot of places to get money from tourists. Right. So keep in mind that a lot of the people who are getting money from tourists are not the natives that live there.
It can be hard. Like I said, you'd have to do a lot of research, and it can be really hard to make sure that if you are trying to support Hawaiian tourism to the natives, it can be hard to find ways to spend your money that it isn't going to just some resort company. So if you aren't confident 100% that the money that you're going, then it is a much better idea just to donate it.
Yeah. I'm a big proponent of there's no reason for you to go to Hawaii. Not in the state that it is, not in the state that it was. Especially every time I hear about tourists going there and climbing up things that they shouldn't be climbing up, totally disrespecting sacred sites. It's gross. And it could be 100 tourists and one of them does something wrong. It's still like, you know what? Then just close the doors. If we as tourists can't keep these guys under control, we can't keep the other tourists under control, and we leave it to them to do something about it. Yeah, I get it. You're not cops. It's not your job. But at the same time, it's not your home. And if you see someone else that is also a guest in that home doing something fucked up and you don't step up, then you might as well have done it yourself.
Right.
So, yeah, I have some strong opinions about Hawaii. And, I have no connections to Hawaii. I haven't lived there. I don't have family there. I myself am not Hawaiian. But they have the rawest deal of ever.
Yeah.
The military there is fucking things over.
Yeah, that was... You know what? It'd be an entire podcast to get into the history of how Hawaii got fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like everybody's always quick to, bring up Pearl Harbor and stuff, but, would the Hawaii have gotten hit if the military was there? I don't know. Maybe not. Right. Would Japan have maybe taken it over? Maybe. I don't know. But guess we'll never know.
Probably wouldn't been as big of a target.
Yes, exactly. We are turning into a political podcast, aren't we?
Yeah. You know what? It's a good thing the season end is coming, and it's a good thing the strike is coming. Look, we know you're tired of hearing about it. We know you're tired of hearing about the strike.
You know who I blame?
The companies that are being struck.
Judith fucking Faulkner. She's gonna be my boogeyman from now on. Oh,
so
because of my one little fuck up.
Kim Kardashian is off the hook now, and now
she's off the hook. Yep. No, you know what? I do kind of feel bad because I have I have moved from one woman to another being the bad guy. You know what, Judith? You're off the hook. You're off the hook.
You gotta Google a new nemesis.
Tim Sweeney, you are a fucking asshole. And this writer strike and this actor strike is your fault. And it's your fault that I was even ragging on Judith Faulkner in the first place. It's your fucking fault because you're not as important as she is. And she's the first one that came up when I was trying to figure out who the epic CEO was. So you, because you're a fuck up, that's why I did that. You son of a bitch.
Oh, it's funny because it's true.
I hope he falls down some steps. I don't wish him death or anything. Maybe a sprained wrist.
No, the new thing to wish is for billionaires is I hope he takes a submarine trip.
Nice. Jesus Christ.
Is that too much?
No, it's fine. Rest in peace to that millionaire's son who didn't even want to be there. Sorry about that, buddy.
Yeah. Took one for the team, honestly.
Yeah. I hate to break it down like that, but I mean, yeah. Because if he hadn't gone, I wonder if the dad wouldn't have gone, and then
the whole trip gets called off, and
right. Could have been a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, Tim Sweeney. Anyways.
But yeah, we know you're tired of hearing about it. We're tired of talking about it. Next season, these companies will have some sort of deal put forth, hopefully, and we'll tell you all about all of the things we've been itching to tell you about. And
you know what? And I'm going to make this promise. Because I'm sure that you will be on board. If the actors' strike breaks while we are on break, we will come back and do a special episode talking about all the shit that we missed.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that. Yeah. I'm down for that.
That the fucking Casters Guild Christmas special. God.
We'll put together a version of the theme song with jingle bells in it.
Right? Special guest Chewbacca.
The Casters Guild Life Day special.
Oh my god, that's what we're calling it. Oh my god, that's what we're calling it. Oh my god.
All right, we're not going to do any better than that. So with that, that's going to be the end of this episode. Right,
yes. We're ending.
Yeah,
fuck you, Tim Sweeney.
At least this
You're the one that brought an end to this episode. I got the picture up on the computer right now so I can point at it and hurl insults and venom at. Anyways.
So thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Casters Guild. Email us at castersguild@gmail.com. Tell us what you want to hear about on the Casters Guild Life Day special. Come join us on the Discord. That's where all the fun stuff is happening. And we will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. See you. Bye. Bye. Fuck you,